appropriately.
Where's your social security number and then your credit card?
No! Please do not put down personally identifying information. Take some of these, pass them down. If you need pens, take some of these, pass them down. It was supposed to be, and then networking hardware exploded the Wednesday before the con. Okay, so this is not what I had in mind for software. It is now.
I mean, how many routers do we all own between us? You know?
Does anyone else need paper and or pens?
I'll take the pen.
You get a pen? And my last pen is being announced. Travis, this is his.
Oh, I can definitely fight Travis.
Okay.
Definitely wouldn't take my hands here.
Randomly unplug things.
How many words are we supposed to be able to write on these little pieces of paper we're making?
Okay, so here's how this panel goes, and I'll read a sample story really quick. This is Scribbles and Bits. This is a cooperative, communal story building game. Things are going to get silly. It starts with the phrase, "It was a dark and stormy night." That's it. Then we're going to go and we're going to split you all up into groups. So like anywhere from 3 to 5 people will submit their version of the next to continue that line. And then we all vote on what we want the actual next line of the story to be. So it was a dark and stormy night. And then someone will say, "It was raining cats and dogs." Or it's a dark and stormy night the other night. Today it is sunny. You know, silly things like that. We vote on what the next line will be, and then boom, that is part of the story, and then we do the process again and again and again until we get anywhere from 1 to 2 paragraphs, and then the last line we submit is the moral of the story. Now, I have the most recent one of this we did to give you an idea on how goofy this can get. Now, this was from BLFC recently. I will read for you the most recent story that was come up by Yuki. It was a dark and stormy night, and the hotel's internet stopped working violently. The air conditioning was nice, though. Sorry, I'm drunk. Someone spelled drunk wrong. It's pretty cold, actually. Wait, who said that? I turned around and... Ah! The narrator had been violently dealt with, much like the hotel internet they had been speaking of. Rutabagas, rutabagas, rutabagas everywhere. It all made sense now. The vegetables were behind everything. Crikey! Someone get my plot device. With plot device in hand, we activated it, violently. It was a dark and stormy night. Everyone in the hotel had no memory of the last hour and 20 minutes, including a drunk Scottishman and a crazy Australian. And then there was a bit of a, someone wrote sillily, the moral of the story is, 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 and they wrote it smaller and smaller each time. So that is one version. This is maybe one of the less sensical ones that we've come up with. This is an all-ages panel. So, you know, PG-13, please. It's an all-ages panel. So the opening line is, it was a dark and stormy night. I'm going to see what I can do to get the story in progress going on the projector screen. Worst case, I will read it a bunch.
Talking for you.
I'm about to unplug this friggin' soundboard.
Do it.
Do it.
Furries are bad people.
Why did I have to get the
Don't do that. Say, do it. Speaking of which,
Okay, so I'm gonna count. Can you raise your hand really quick if you are playing? Just so I can get a count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Alrighty, so we will do in groups of 4 and 5.
They have an NFC chip in here, but
Yeah, sounds about right.
furry convention.
Welcome to running furry conventions.
so
The more complex tech works just fine, but hey, these projector things we've been using for 20 years.
Maybe you need new
It's on.
projectors.
Take someone on the cables away.
Stop chewing on the cables!
Don't try to
You
use
don't
the back.
actually have to emulate a squirrel.
What's your favorite squirrel?
I have sketches.
You guys can read that, right?
No.
Okay,
Not a
of
chance.
course.
Not even blue.
Alright, you guys can read that, right?
No.
yes,
It's text for hands.
Like that.
There we go.
Alright, I'll fiddle with the Zoom or whatever. So, notice there's no ending punctuation there. You are continuing that statement. You can finish a statement. Don't try to go more than like a sentence and a half or 2 sentences. 1 sentence is fine. A sentence fragment is fine. Just, you'll see as we go. Alright, so we're just going to go front to back, left to right for me. There's some paper right there.
Oh boy.
You need it.
I need a lot of things.
Here, you can let us have our pen, no problem.
Do you have a pen?
No.
Here's a pen.
So,
So,
join the pen like us?
yeah, you can share pens and pencils and things. Paper, yes. You're going to want to rip these into sheets. Oh, here's another pen.
Hello.
Alright, so we're going to do, we'll do U5 to start. So U5 are going to continue. It was a dark and stormy night. And then we'll do U3. We'll do U3 and you guys for the next one. And then we'll
just
do
pass around the pens.
U4 and then U5 and then we'll switch.
You gotta need a rating.
PG-13. Oh, you can do it. I see your freaking dad on Twitter constantly. You are capable.
I maybe see my after dark dad.
You can start writing ahead of time, but what shows up after that might make things weird, or you'll just submit it anyway and it'll still be good. I had people like write them 4 lines ahead and submitted them, and then they ended up winning the book. So. Oh man, there's water over here. I'm gonna do so much talking. Oh, they've got big cups. Yes. Yes.
We need to switch over to a chair we can fit another person.
Anywhere from 1 to 2 sentences. Notice there's no punctuation finishing that off. So by default, everyone is continuing and or finishing that sentence and maybe adding a little more.
What do we do more of that?
You give them to me.
There you go.
How big can you buy it, right?
Oh, okay. Oh boy. I'm more saying oh boy as to having one.
Read them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, the it was supposed to. So for those of you that want to know, I also helped run the AnthrOhio servers and such, and in Illinois, there was some like crazy storms and flooding, and my surge protector did not live up to its name. So the networking gear that I use to set up these games is currently holding up the website.
There you go.
That's a lot.
If only we had cloud service.
We don't make contacts every week.
Well, consider people.
Hi.
Probably really important. Considering people need to rent launch mods, that's actually really important.
Yes.
No, there is a non-copyrighted police.
I really hope my phone is in my room.
Non-copyrighted commercial lawyer would say that.
Alright, while that last one's getting written, I will read some of these and then we were just going to go through and do a by hand vote. Do you have one?
Yeah.
Alright, you're a part of this group.
Okay.
It'll take, if everyone writes one every round, it will take too long to read through them all.
Oh, wait. No.
Do you want to hang on to it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have the last one ready.
Alright. It was a dark and stormy night. Kage paused at the entrance to his wine cellar. It was empty. It was a dark and stormy night, ... and then the badgers attacked. It was a dark and stormy night, which meant that we were going to have extra soggy s'mores. It was a dark and stormy night over... What? Illyria? Illyria, the golden jewel of the desert. It was a dark and stormy night around 420 BCE. The first fursuit games were being held in Nashville, Tennessee. I don't think Nashville knew it was Nashville yet, but okay. Alright, so now we do the part where we vote for which of these becomes the next line of the story. Kage paused at the entrance of his wine cellar. We have 3. And then the badgers attacked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which meant that we were going to have extra soggy s'mores. 2. Over Illyria, the golden jewel of the desert. 2. And then around 420 BCE, the first fursuit games were being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh wow, we have a tie. Alright, between the last 2. Alright, who wants, and then the badgers attacked? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And around 420 BCE, the first fursuit games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ah, it just barely beats it out. Alright, so the next group. So you guys can start writing the next phrase while I type this up and add it to the story. I do.
This makes sense.
Yes.
Oh, 420.
I don't know how to spell Tennessee.
Wait.
T-N-C.
No, I don't think you understand. I'm going to write exactly what is here, so no mistakes at all.
Yes. That changes the game a little.
I definitely did not spell Tennessee right.
Hey, this is a new card. This is back.
Okay, so this group over here can do the next round of submissions, and then, so this is the story thus far. Thank you.
Hey, at least you.
That was in a second.
Hey, at least you have At least you have a full group this time as opposed to that the last time I was at this. Hey, everybody, there's pizza.
I still want to kill him for that.
But at least the networking worked.
Yeah, it did, because I bought expensive networking equipment. Dude, I am so, I'm looking into the warranty of this friggin' surge protector, because it did not protect.
Was it a surge or a spike? Because if lightning hits and it's a spike, the surge protector won't.
It was not lightning, it was just wind and power lines.
Right. Well, maybe it was just a brownout.
Yeah, something.
It is
made
possible
my
to
life.
tell you they're trying to about it.
Something made my life very, very, very unfun while I was in the middle trying to print badges for this con. So
Why are you looking directly at me when you say this?
I don't know. I'm like roundabout blaming you, I guess. You've had so much bad luck happen, and I've hung out with you, and now I'm having bad luck.
Everybody get out of here before the gas infects us.
The car's just got to come right through.
So the dark and stormy night is right under us. That's how
Yeah. Okay. It was a dark and stormy night around 420 BCE. The first Mercer games were being held in Nashville, Tennessee. None of the suitors could see in the darkness. I mean, that's just fursuiting in general. Then the Cody? Then the Coati climbed the pillar, eager to see the turtles. He licked his chops. Back then, they were still called animals, dang furries. Tensions were high and the fur was flying. Although the universe was in turmoil.
Oh, those are good.
Alright, who wants to vote for none of the suitors could see in the darkness? Alright. The Coati climbed the pillar, eager to see the turtles. He licked his chops. Oh man, we got some fierce competition for these other ones. Back then, they were still called animals, dang furries. I don't think any of the others can win. Tensions were flying high and the fur was flying. And then, although the universe was in turmoil. Alright, we got some good answers. So the next group will be... Alright, so you guys want to play?
Yeah.
Alright, we need to find... Does someone have a spare script? Okay. So we've got... So here's some pre-done strips and a pen. So we'll do... So you guys have gone... how many of you are playing back here?
Yeah, you said us 4.
You are all 4 of you?
Well,
Okay, so we'll do you 4 and you 2, and then we'll do the rest of the group as lessons. So you're going to do the next line of this plus this.
We're not up yet over here?
You'll be the last group, and then it resets to the front.
All right.
Alrighty. It was a dark and stormy night around 420 BCE. The first Mercer games were being held in Nashville, Tennessee. Back then, they were still called animals, dang furries. Come up with and submit the next line in the story.
I still think so. That's my first.
No idea. We will talk afterwards. Okay. I think you will be on board.
I've heard your ideas.
I was busy.
So how was it being greeted by Spider-Man and Spider-Gwen? Dixie had so much fun. Dixie's now commanding that we have to just go out to Chicago doing that.
That's her new thing.
I ran away.
That's her new thing. She's moved on from fursuits. We've got to a whole other level.
If you guys don't have anything for this one, you can jump in on the next one.
Okay, well, you're like housekeeping over the next group?
Well, they're also writing a bunch. Too.
Oh, okay.
So if someone has one and wants to join in on this group, if you want to swap with the others, that's fine.
Okay.
Oh, you gotta watch that. She's never seen me dancing Spider-Man.
Which one?
There's
several.
But they start the combo line through there.
Oh, yeah. So I gotta learn some moves so I can join the ranks of an exquisite idiocity with Spider-Man costumes.
What her idea was we should all get Spider-Man costumes just go to a random restaurant.
Well, you can also
Yes.
buy that crappy Sentai Spider-Man. You actually wouldn't have to do 12
Hey, you can get a decent quality Spider-Man suit for around $100 now.
Send me a message.
he figured out for you. He's gonna write something.
And this person's writing.
First, you need to look like Spider-Man.
Oh man, I gotta lose like 50 pounds.
Unless you look like Tom Holland and AnthrOhio Blair.
Dude, if one of you's like really friggin' brick wall stacked, you can do Venom.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Send me that.
You crippled fat fuck Spider-Man.
Hey, depending on which comic series you're reading, that might actually be canon.
Midlife crisis Spider-Man.
You know, it says something that the majority of Spider-Men don't live to reach midlife.
Not really.
They've been killing it. They've been killing Peter Parker on and off for like the past 20 years, okay?
Feels so good. Hey, just like no spiders,
Hey, spoiler alert.
So, exactly.
Alright, while that last one's getting written, I'm going to start reading these. Dang furries, period. Starting a howl. And is that supposed to be an A?
Reading is hard.
Did not help with that impression.
Starting a howl and not help with this impression.
Sounds like you're looking for did not help.
Did not help with that impression.
Did not help with that with thurs. It says thurs. This
Words are
impression.
hard.
Okay, words are very hard. Dang furries, starting a howl did not help with this impression. Alright, I get it now. And then the Fire Nation attacked. They did invented paddles recently, no longer relying on...
Survival, I think.
No, it says primeal.
Primal.
It says primeal instincts to survive. I think that's even more sharp. Like MEAL.
The first meal. You just found a new word for breakfast.
So, dang furries, they did invent paddles recently, no longer relying on primeal instincts to survive. And the furries then played Cards Against Humanity in McDonald's nearby. In McDonald's.
In 420 BC.
Okay, first one. Started a howl, did not help with this impression. Alright, we got 2, 3. And then the Fire Nation attacked. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They did invented paddles recently, no longer relying on primeal instincts to survive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the furries that play Cards Against Humanity in McDonald's nearby. I am keeping everything that is wrong with what is written on here.
They did invent it.
Hey, don't call me out.
You're just capitalizing random words. Invented paddles is a proper name.
Wait. There we go. Please note, I'm not making fun of it. It is funnier when there are mistakes in this stuff and you don't have time to edit.
I still think invented paddles is a proper name.
Now, note, there is no period at the end of this statement. Alright, so the rest of the group, so you all, yeah, you're in this one. You guys can all be in this one. I don't know if you're playing or not. I would like to play. You can join this last group or the one that's also behind you. Alright. Oh, good. Okay, sorry. I see that.
God bless you.
Do you need more paper?
Why'd you make us get so many pieces of paper?
Because we're going to keep doing this, and then people write stuff and print stuff out, and sometimes people draw dogs that attack.
But it was
Is
not
that
an
attack?
attack. And the Fire Nation attack.
And the Fire Nation attack. Alright, our story thus far. It was a dark and stormy night around 420 BCE. The first fursuit games were being held in Nashville, Tennessee. Back then, they were still called animals, dang furries. They did invent paddles reach. I typed that wrong. That's actually not. That was not how it was written. That was just bad.
Good job.
They They did invent paddles recently, no longer relying on primeval instincts '(S) to survive. Next lines. They were fighting for the ultimate price, a Spider-Man costume from Party City. Now that's what I call pod racing. And then I realized I had on someone else's undies on. ... Oh, it's on. And that's how I met your mother.
Oh no, the memes.
Instincts to survive, telephone answered the... And then stuff was scratched out.
It's two. Read the top line first.
Telephone answered the... Hello? She squeaked by instinct.
Oh.
Wait, telephone, I'm sorry.
This is not going well.
I don't care what it says, that's what I'm voting for.
Fuck it.
Did someone else have any others for this round, or is that it? Is that it? Okay. Who votes for they were fighting for the ultimate price, a Spider-Man costume from Party City? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I don't think the others are going to make it. Now that's what I call pod racing.
That was a good one.
That was a good one, I like that. And then I realized I had on someone else's undies on. And that's how I met your mother. And telephone answered the hello, she squeaked by instinct.
Screw the rest of you, that's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, close, but no cigar.
Some stream of punch.
They don't hear it.
Is telephone like Vegas?
Flushing telephone, right?
Okay, so that's everyone. So now we're going to jump back up to this front group. It was a dark and stormy night around 420 BCE. The first precinct games were being held in Nashville, Tennessee. Back then, they were still called animals, named furries. They did invent paddles recently, no longer relying on primeval instincts to survive. They were fighting for the ultimate price, a Spider-Man costume from Party City. Yes, we are that insane. Oh, does someone have a pen I can borrow or make use of?
We're sharing.
Ow!
Sorry.
I have lead poisoning now.
Well, it's
Graphite, child.
Shh. Don't ruin my hypochondria. What? Oh no.
sorry.
I'm not going to read it until I actually go to read the rest of it.
We know you went from
Okay. Hold on. This is impossible.
In the middle of the air, it's like, oh, it's pointy.
Try. Seriously, it does work better if you, like, make it so I can read it. I'm sorry, I'm a terrible writer. You just go slower, right, with your dominant hand. I do. I'm sorry. Oh no.
I feel terrible when I wrote. But not really.
Can I take the book of the elephant next door?
Sorry, not sorry.
There you go.
Actively described.
Alright, while that one finishes up, oh boy. Alrighty. With the ultimate price, a Spider-Man costume from Party City. Hobgoblin in reaction threw pumpkins with Seth Rogen's face.
That's just a non sequitur.
Alright, whoop.
You there? No.
You know I had to do it.
To him.
To him. You know I had to do it to him. I made it harder by
Stealing the costume from Party City.
that's stealing. That looks like an R. Raiding?
Oh yes, raiding the silver.
By raiding Party City and stealing the costume. Alright, I got it. You know I had to do it to him. I made it harder by raiding Party City and stealing the costume. Yay. This isn't learns to read. This is learning how to like parse Sanskrit or something.
I'm sorry, it's chicken scratch. I should have been a doctor.
Invented paddles got up, still a mess. It is now. And then the fire badgers attacked. Everyone was excited to win until they found out the costume was crotchless.
They got more excited.
Nobody could have guessed how badly they needed to invent Irish Spring. Alright, so we're going to go through these. Hobgoblin in reaction through pumpkins. Who wants last? Alright. You know what had to happen to him? I made it harder by raiding a party city and stealing the costume. Alright. Invented paddles got up, still a mess, but she wouldn't give up yet. And then the fire badgers attacked. Everyone was excited until they found out it was crotchless. Thank you for not voting for that one. Inventing Irish Spring. This is great. Oh my god. Okay, over here, you just inherited some weirdness. Invented Paddles is now a person who uses the pronouns of she.
I believe that's the writer.
That was longer.
Yeah.
Long enough.
Alright, I'm trying to follow.
Maybe it's the animals.
I would like to point out they are completely responsible for this. I am merely a facilitator.
I have nothing to do with this. The thing is, when you give a bunch of monkeys a typewriter, they don't make Shakespeare.
Dragon's losing his mind.
It's already gone.
Hey, you're actually
We have to break him.
We have to break you. No, we have to fix him.
Okay.
That's break
No,
him.
for the first time in this panel, I was legitimately broken at BLFC. I had an uncontrollable giggle fit. Instead of writing words, someone kept drawing pictographs. And they were adorable and silly and somewhat relevant to it, so I'm trying to figure out how to do ASCII art to transcribe it, and I lost it. I have to tweet it out. I kept all of the little pictures.
Somebody needs to fit in Spider-Man legend.
What?
Somebody needs to fit in Spider-Man legend.
No! Wait, did you see my...
I saw your legend, yes.
No, did you see where I was in the person photo?
No. Now, alright, I gotta go find that photo.
Write it down.
I ran the first square one here. There's a lot, like, the majority of people hadn't played that one.
It went great as a result. I remember that.
The next new one is definitely going to be IFC. I might just get people together and run it at AnthrOhio. I don't have anything in the schedule at AnthrOhio. I actually don't have any of my regular panels in at AnthrOhio, so unfortunately I don't even have this.
Our panels busier at AnthrOhio or at that now?
Depends. They're both large enough where if you by default have what people consider an interesting title, people show up.
Did I hear you correctly saying you don't have panels on AnthrOhio?
I don't have any of my own solo ones. Dragon Show, the Who's Lines, and then Alkaline Eye and Spark are running the master.
Whose line is all that matters?
It's not true.
Congratulations, you're witnessing the mock trial.
What? Oh, I just got voluntold to do it on the panel, didn't I?
God,
This is what I get for doing it to him. Like, he shows up 5 minutes here.
You set a precedent.
you know I had to do it to him. Well, did the ranch, she says, oh, by the way, you have a panel at 3 now.
You got one.
And whenever you guys want to write one and throw it in, because I don't think you've submitted one yet. So, whatever you want. And silly, weird, you never know what's going to resonate with people. So while you're finishing that one,
I mean,
Oh.
invented patent is
Yeah.
pretty much a person.
okay,
Comes back to the previous sentences.
invented paddles still.
Oh.
Don't die. Ow. Ow.
Are you okay?
Their sneezing hurts.
Are you like so
Everything. All right.
He's allergic to Jesus.
I am. There was mooing in the background to the bent of hot cross buns for some reason. To the beat of hot cross buns for some reason. A distressed Paddles could feel herself fading away. Guys, I don't feel so good. Invigorated with a new purpose, she departed on her journey. Invented Paddles, the dog, looked up and said, "The memes." Her spider sense was tingling. It beckoned to her. And, yup. Who would like to vote for it? There was mooing in the background to the beat of hot cross buns for some reason. Alright. A distressed Paddles can feel herself fading away. One. Invigorated with a new purpose, she departed on her journey. I'm really getting worried at you guys. Invented Paddles the dog looked up and said, "The memes!" Oh. Her spider sense was tingling. It beckoned to her. Yup.
Here we go. This one's actually better.
Do I have another one? Or is this for this next round?
This is for the next one.
Okay. This is our story so far. So I did this group, so is this group next. Yeah, if you have one, I'll take it. Hello, would you like to join in on this one?
There it is, right there. It's super effective.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we're gonna be in.
You heard her, guys.
This is hilarious.
Alright, it was a dark and stormy night around 420 BCE. The first person came was being held in Nashville, Tennessee. Back then, they were still called animals named furries. They did invent paddles recently, no longer relying on primeval instincts to survive. They were fighting for the ultimate crisis. Spider-Man got the party city. Invented paddles got out. Still a mess, but you wouldn't give up yet. Yup. That's a mouthful. They have all of my pens.
That man, do you need it?
If you can bring it back, that'd be great. I have more shit posting.
Yes, I would accurately describe your submission. Sorry, I spit. I should post it. We don't know if he was using a brown gold marker or not. I sneezed and now I can't smell.
There you go. That's a good one. No, I sneezed and now I can't smell.
Yeah. No, it means I was eating chocolate, sneezed at the same time, and I smelled like chocolate, and I blew my nose, and... Dude, chocolate in your nostrils actually burns.
Good. There's worse things. Wasabi.
Yes and no. Wasabi burns in a way, but then clears it out.
Yeah.
The chocolate just stays fixed.
At least your stomach's not good.
I know an awful lot about chocolate.
Yeah.
I like chocolate and
Chocolate more.
You like chocolate? He's allergic.
Oh, that's right. I'm actually using these for a good reason. I actually have two Cinnabons out there.
Oh God, Cinnabon, it's a diabetes heart attack cake.
Where?
In an airport.
Shit. There's food out there. Not at an airport.
I can figure you diabetes today.
Dude, oh yeah, you got diabetes. I'm too scared of the doctor. To go to the doctor to find out. I'm just gonna wait until.
All right, did I get?
Alright,
you still ready with your story? Okay.
Just taking my leg.
That is okay. It's funnier for everyone.
Yeah, they're probably gonna saw my leg off like in the Civil War while I'm like punching on an Oreo.
I like the different sizes of submissions. I like size different. What? What? All right. While he's finishing, or you know, she's doing that. Like as soon as I say, it's like, all right, while he's finishing, we're done. Finish up. Alrighty. She woke up from her disoriented and she thought, damn, I drank too much last night. How could I? She must feed. The story has Dev Love to about a sentient piece of wood.
It's planked.
Discovered poles, her arch nemesis, watched with a mad cackle. Then the telephone nation attacked. Much like my wife, am I right, fellas? Look, this isn't my fault, they did this.
Well, I can believe that, yeah.
Okay. Alright, here's one before she woke up from her disoriented and she thought, damn, I drank too much last night, how could I?
Yeah,
Okay.
it is.
She must feed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The story had Dev Love to about a sentient piece of wood. Discovered poles. Her arch nemesis watched with a mad cackle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then the telephone nation attacked. 2. Much like my wife, am I right, fellas? Okay. You know, this was written kind of like a haiku, so. What? That's not your role here.
Now we're looking for.
Okay. The remaining folks, anyone in back who has anyone who hasn't gone yet, feel free to submit and throw down in this one. Alright, it was a dark and stormy night around 420 BCE. The first Fursuit Games were being held in Nashville, Tennessee. Back then, they were still called animals, dang furries. They did invented paddles recently, no longer relying on primeval instincts to surprise. They were fighting for the ultimate crisis, Spider-Man costume from Party City. Invented paddles got up, still a mess, but she wouldn't give up yet. Yup. Discovered poles, her arch nemesis, watched with a mad cackle.
No, you gotta bring it back to the first few pieces.
What time is it, by the way?
I think you don't watch.
Okay, so we're going to do a couple more rounds. The last round, it will take a little bit longer. Anyone who wants to submit a moral of the story can. If you don't have something that you think is good, you don't have to submit, because it's going to take a while to read through them all. So we'll do a couple more sentences, and then moral of the story. So I've got these two. Do people have stuff to hand to me? Just give me one. I don't want to read them all ahead of time. I want to be surprised. Thank you.
Once I've had it in my head, I reset I lost my code.
Do I have any others coming my way? Yes.
Got one.
There's so many problems.
Alrighty. I think there's one more over there. Oh, sorry.
Maybe you can read this one more straightforward.
Alright, after our little abstract poem. Wait, I got one. Teleporting behind paddles, she unsheathed her katana. Well, that stepped it up really quick. Thankfully, it was a katana. Somehow, the galactic species of forum moderators emerged and slammed the largest of band hammers on all of us. And then the murders began. After being chased through the woods, we found more paddles that invented paddles left everywhere. We were terrified. And then the murders began. Shush, my pretty, she whispered, petting her cacklebird softly. The fursuit games were almost over, much like my love life. Then telephone, riding a war badger and wielding a flamethrower attacked. I'm sensing a theme.
Do you want the last one or not?
Do you have one more?
I was still writing.
Alright, this one's going to be a full one, apparently.
Yeah.
Then we also have, and suddenly a winner emerges, sitting duck stands victorious.
Sitting duck.
And then the Spider-Man costume is mine. Paddles, and with it, I will rewrite Infinity War. Alright, who is voting for teleporting behind paddles? She unsheathes her katana. Alright, got one. Somehow the galactic species of four moderators emerged and slammed the biggest of band hammers on all of us. And then the murders began. After being chased through the woods, blah blah blah, paddles making paddles, we were terrified, and then the murders began. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shush, my pretty, she whispered, petting her cacklebird softly. The fursuit games are almost over, much like my love life. Yay, that got a vote. Or sadness, I don't know. Then telephone, riding a war badger and wielding a flamethrower attacked. The Spider-Man costume is mine, paddles, and with it I will rewrite Infinity War! I found the people that are upset with that movie. And suddenly a winner emerges, sitting duck stands victorious. I liked that pun a lot. Alrighty, now I gotta type a bunch.
The illustration on it is the same, the second sentence. I think it's running exactly March 1st.
We're trying to terrified. We're terrified.
And the murders happened.
And then the murders began. Okay, we're back to the front group here, and if you didn't submit something on your turn, just either wait to your next one or do this.
Yeah, somebody take over for me. Split me.
Yeah, whatever, if someone wants to hop in and take his spot, what time are we at?
251.
2:51. So we'll do this will be the last sentence of the regular story, and then we will do No Holds Barred, the moral of the story.
You might want to put one caveat on that.
What?
Keep PG-13.
I like what you say. Yes, this is a PG-13 panel. So if you have, I've only got a couple getting submitted right now. If one or two people have like one more to throw in, we can do that. Oh, this is a weird one. As written. As written.
Spell change wrong or is that you?
What? No, that's me being an idiot.
Okay.
Just say
I have issues.
Back issues or regular issues?
Issues. Universal. Do you have one? The ones that scare me the most are the ones that like shoot up right away. Like, no, that might be radioactive. No joke. Like I seriously, it's a during the day panel. It's a PG-13 panel, and I was running this at I think it was Motor City, and there were like two 12 and 13-year-olds with their parents in the audience, and they were the raunchiest submissions of all of them. And their parents were just laughing. I'm like, what kind of household?
And it's hard to say anything when it's the 12 and 13-year-olds submitting it.
As I said, I was on birthday, so.
Are you working on one?
Yeah.
You guys working on one? Okay.
I can't write. Words are hard.
They are, as you can see.
Hey, that's like, that's what we kept it simple for you.
Alright, I got it now.
Yeah, you guys can start thinking about the morals. It might change a little bit. If you're completely devoid of morals, make something up.
Okay.
The nervous chuckles tell me there are a lot of people without morals in this room.
What are those?
Is that an equine watch? Think about it. I get it.
I was up to 4 a.m. drinking last night. I wasn't thinking about anything.
But you might be thinking about an equine timepiece. There we go! You got it! Yay!
And the last word across the finish line.
Alright, that one. Thank you. And I think we got one more. And then we are moving on to the moral of the story, which we have to do quickly because we're going to run a little bit over. So start thinking about the moral, start writing the morals. I'm going to start reading them while you write that.
Okay, got it.
Of course. No, it's what I do. Oh, that's going to be hard to read.
Sorry.
The first series fought back, Spider-Man costume in hand, but paddles knew their weakness. Stairs, and nobody survived.
Stairs.
The fire spread to the countryside. Chaos ensued. Run away, Joe. I don't get it. Meat started falling from the sky. Whose meat was this? Rocks fall, everybody died. Oh, God.
Read it.
I, Dragor, am the biggest idiot ever.
Whoever did that one.
Smiley face.
I think there should be written down.
Your ploy has failed. Paddle. Poles showers and paddles. They know what they did. But though I walk fungus across the line, I will triumph. Paddle declared. Paddle declared. Who wrote this one?
I did.
I can't read most of it.
You got it all right, except funny.
Though I walk funny across the line, I will triumph. Paddle's declared. All right. The first teams fought back, Spider-Man costume in hand, but paddles knew their weakness. Stairs, and nobody survived. All right, that was 4. The fire spread to the countryside. Chaos ensued. Run away, Joe. Someone needs to explain that to me. Meat started falling from the sky. Whose meat was this? Alright, that's 3. Rocks fall, everybody died. Alright, that's another 3. I, Dragor, am the biggest idiot ever. Oh, you guys are nice. Smiley face. Finally, my shitposts work.
Oh God, I got a chair.
Alright, quickly as humanly possible, the moral of the story. I have to collect these, read them, and then we have to vote on it. Oh boy. Alright.
Nothing good's gonna come of that.
Golly, Miss Molly.
Do not correct what's on there.
Okay.
No, it's gonna be on a moral.
No, we're adding a moral here.
Here's mine.
Here's mine.
What are you doing with that cheap crap?
I'm done. Shit.
Okay.
Come on, you're not the story this time.
Alright, really quick.
We didn't need you to try the first suits.
It was a dark and stormy night around 420 BC. The first person game was being held in Nashville, Tennessee. Back then, they were still called animals, dag furs. They did invented paddles recently, no longer relying on primeval instincts to survive. They were fighting for the ultimate prize, a Spider-Man costume from Party City. Invented paddles got up, still a mess, but she wouldn't give up. Yet, yup, discovered Bowles, her arch nemesis, watched with a mad cackle. After being chased through the woods, we found more paddles and invented paddles left everywhere. We were terrified. And then the murders began. Smiley face. No matter your paddles or poles, smiles cure everything. Why are we fighting over Spider-Man costume? It's like $10.99 at Walmart. Don't brag about having the most chromosomes. In the end, it was just another day in Tennessee. The moral of all of this, kids, don't ever ... Ooh, look, squirrel! Never trust a masked bus driver. 3 smiley face.
Was he in the room?
It's true what they say.
Oh,
Women be shopping. Never battle the paddle. Don't bring fursuits to a paddle and pole Spider-Man costume party. When you're up shit creek, you can't rely on invented paddles. The moral is, don't owe if you actually know what this is. The moral of the story is, anyway, here's Wonderwall as flames over the credits. Okay, we're just going to approximately do this like really fast. Don't bring fursuits to a paddle and pole Spider-Man party. No. Only half of humanity perished. No. Never battle the paddle. What? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Furries ruin everything.
Yeah.
No matter your paddles or poles, smiles cure everything. Why are we fighting over Spider-Man costumes? It's like $10.99 at Walmart. When you're up shit creek, you can't rely on invented paddles. Oh man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh. Furries ruin everything. Moral is, don't know if you actually know what this is. I think most of you voted now. Raise your hand if you haven't voted yet.
Yeah, not enough this
Okay, that's not enough to unseat the others, so finally, oh god. Yes! Alright, guys, I'm the Drago. This has been Scribbles and Bits. Thank you so much. We're about to do a Copy Better When We Had a Few, which is a charity panel. It's going to be out by myself, Boozy, and Nez, and whoever else is here to have fun. Here is our final story. It was a dark and stormy night around 420 BCE. The first person games were being held in Nashville, Tennessee. Back then, they were still called animals, dank birdies. They did invent these paddles recently, no longer relying on primeval instincts to survive. They were fighting for the ultimate prize, a Spider-Man costume from Party City. Invented paddles got up, still a mess, but she wouldn't give up yet. Yup. Discovered poles. Her arch nemesis watched with a mad cackle. After being chased through the woods, we found more paddles that invented